Chris, what happened last time? Actually, wait a second. Since coming through the portal, what has happened since then?
Well, we came through the portal. We saw we heard little skittering in the darkness and saw hints of, I think, red eyes, and we're scared. And then we're beckoned to by a little halfling fellow who had been waiting there 2 weeks for some sign from the blessed Brandon himself, and we came through, and so his faith was fulfilled. We accompanied him through the countryside back to Brandonsford, his home, the Shire, and discovered that there's all sorts of shenanigans going on around and about, mostly to do with fairy folk who have been a huge pain in my butt personally. uh, but also not great for the rest of us, although one of them kind of worked out okay just now, with the tavern and all. But anyway, so fairy folk and apparently a dragon. At least that's the rumor. We have discovered nothing worse in terms of beastage than a crocodile, and bringing up the crocodile makes my heart hurt. So we're just gonna move on. and I don't know. I guess that brings us up to the present, where we are trying to figure out what to do next. And we hope to. We've rescued a couple of young men, so we're in pretty good, I would say, with the locals now here in this Shire of Brandonsford, and we're hoping to help them actually solve some of these problems. It seems like we've just been getting battered about by the problems ourselves, so we're hoping to actually do some serious good here. And the reason we need to do this is because we need to find out the fate of the dwarves, and we can't find out anything about any dwarves until this dragon problem is taken care of, because whatever it is apparently blocking travel between Brandonsford, where we are, and the mountains where the dwarves usually come from to trade and such. So that's my best rundown of if I missed anything major.
Yeah, no, I think that's right, and as part of that, I think what I got out of, like, how do you know it's a dragon? Well, you all talk to George Bilberry, the hunter.
George.
Yeah, poor George. One-armed, one-eyed hobbit George, and all of his hunter friends are dead. And you raised his spirits, and George was able to verify that some kind of reptilian beast did in fact kill all of his friends. And then you also spoke to Vivian, the witch in the wilderness, who she claims that there is also a dragon. And she thinks that to help defeat it, if you have the red wine sap from the grove west of the river, that it could help defeat the dragon. And then Nob Boulderhill, who at times helpful and at times not very helpful at all. In going to the Mathom-house, you learned that apparently there's a sword who the Mathom-house elder had sent somebody to go find documents to the northeast, east of the river to the north. And in the tomb of Sir Brandon himself is the legendary sword of Sir Brandon. It could perhaps slay the dragon, and also some person up there who was sent by William, the Mathom-house curator. He sent Dirk, his senior assistant. And then you made one foray into the wilderness, but you ended up needing to loop back. You neither crossed the river nor did you head on to the tomb or to try to find the dragon. You lured a huge alligator into your service using your bard magic, but then it scared and ran off into the woods thanks to a river troll which at least scared the river troll. And then, when you tried to go find the alligator, it got attacked by fairy wolves.
Yeah.
You allowed your animal companion's fate to secure your escape. So, yeah, that's what I got.
Yep.
And
Oh, I remembered it all. I just chose to block out the details.
yeah,
It's too close.
Yeah, it's too soon.
let's see.
Through the arms of the angels.
I've also lost my chainmail. Let's not forget that part.
But you have a lovely dress.
Turned it
I know.
into a dress.
Yes, yeah, the dress. So the dress is still in somebody's knapsack, I think. But
Still have it.
yeah. And I've been very kindly lent someone else's leather armor. So.
Dave, if you're able to figure out the microphone thing, just hop in and then I'll introduce you and we'll get you started right. If you can't figure it out, I'm sorry that's happening.
We cannot hear you, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we can't hear you. I know. Computer or Discord. It's possible the something might be interfering with Discord. Discord should have a feature where you can test your mic so you can see if it can hear you. Yeah.
It's not on push to talk, right?
Push to talk's another possibility. Yeah, that could be another thing. Yeah,
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope.
Well, anyways, Dave's tech savvy. He'll figure it out. But in the meantime, also a couple other things is everybody only has 10 items except what you're wearing. Because I thought about this and I thought this was kind of dumb. Like I wouldn't include sacks, backpacks, and pouches. But as far as like bundles of arrows, torches, oil, water skin, rations, 10-foot pole, rope, blah, 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 all that stuff is a part of the 10 item slot. You can, of course, carry more than 10 items, all the way up to an abstracted limit that, we just agree on. But if you start with more than 10 items, you're encumbered. Which lowers your movement speed, both in wilderness and in combat. And then everybody eats once a day, so you all should have been marking out your rations if you're not buying it from from Bentley or Quinn or somebody in town. But you only need to eat once and drink once.
I've been assuming that I'm eating at a tavern, but maybe I shouldn't assume that.
Well, you can, just you have to buy it.
Okay, how much? We've been here for 2 nights.
For a bread and a brew, it's 8 silver pieces at Bentley's.
Yeah, I've been keeping track of that for us.
Great.
Well, I'd like to remind everybody that I actually have no money at all to my personal name. I've been entirely, yes, exactly, dependent on this kindness of strangers here, basically.
And thanks for doing that, Steve. I think you're keeping track of all the silver right now because the hobbits hate gold because it ruins the economy and it's big folk stuff. And yeah. All right. And so here we are, waking up once more. On the cold, stony floor of the shrine, the human-sized shrine, stone. The windows are covered in old vine and it kind of creeps into the door. Even it's just a bare stone floor and there's no furnishings in here. And this has sort of been home for the past 72 hours for you all. Stained glass windows, the morning light is pouring in, and you can hear hobbits outside, bustling and working, and even more fussing going on today, as the fall festival is not going well, with no good crop of mushrooms and the farms not doing well this year, and no supplies coming out from the outside from the dwarves. But no messengers are sent this morning to try to gather you either. So, what do you do?
We need to make our way to that barrow. That
Yep,
seems
you gonna try another expedition?
that seems the most urgent.
Second attempt.
See if Dirk's still alive there, which has been a couple weeks, so probably not, but let's at least bring his body back, right?
All right.
All right, maybe he's gonna try restarting or something.
Yeah. So you have when you leave, you have the signpost. So you can go to the south or north gate. The Shire itself, the buildings only come up almost like maybe eye level. They're not very tall if they don't have 2 stories at the tallest. But there's this huge walled fortification of stone, which somebody of very advanced means could only have built and afforded something like this. Having walled in Brandonsford across almost an entire acre. That stone wall extends. You have on the south side of the city the main entrance you came through that goes out into the woods where you went to go see Vivian. And then on the north side, near where the farms are, is facing the stream, the river. On the signpost, just as a reminder, you've got the Golden Egg Tavern, the Clumsy Fox Tavern, the General Store, the Smith, the Hunter's Lodge, Mathom-house, Apothecary, the farms, and a long list of all sorts of other professions. There is specialized labor here, so there's all sorts of different things.
Yeah, probably it would take a long time. Well, how long? I guess I need to find out how realistic it would be to try and get a new mail shirt made.
Well, you could go to the Smith. Let me make sure there's no one else that could be related to that. There's also the Bounder's Barracks and the Town Hall. I forgot to
I'm
mention
sure
that.
they're not going to have anything in my size, but
Maybe they've got a couple suits and they can kind of fix it all together instead of.
sort of staple them together.
You have a place that says, what would it be called? Amphitheater or an actors guild.
Wow.
Barber Chirurgeon. I may be mispronouncing that. Coopers, cooks, chandlers. Let me make sure that I don't have something here that might be useful to... maybe a haberdasher could be a cheaper version of that. But you have the smith, of course. The town smith.
Yeah, he probably like makes horseshoes and stuff.
Yeah, smith or armorer.
I mean,
The
yeah.
hobbits having one of those.
I'm just gonna ask somebody. I guess I'll go to the smith and find out
Okay.
before we head out.
Do you go to the smith or do you ask someone?
Well, I mean, I'm not just gonna ask. Well, I guess it's a small enough town. I mean, I feel like most hobbits would probably laugh at me if I asked this question. So, but I'll ask. I'll ask.
Okay. You see a bunch of hobbits just immediately outside of the stone building of the Shire of Sir Brandon. You see like a group of women near a what do you call those things? A stall, because they have a bunch of things where they're trying to set up stalls. It really looks like a fair that's just kind of failing. It's just not working this year. And a lot of people that are kind of trying to carry things in. There's a man that's pulling a cart. And everyone is fussing. So, yeah, I mean, that's what's immediately nearby.
Pardon me, gentle hobbits.
All right, the closest are near the stall, and as you approach, oh, that's interesting, Ross.
Uh-oh.
No, I just didn't make a macro for a D12. I don't know Let's see. One of the women is telling the other one. She says. She says, Lobelia, that puppet show down where those actors are, I think they made a puppet of you. And she's like, Alpaeus, no, that wasn't a puppet of me. Why, that's just insulting. And she's like, no, I'm pretty sure it was a puppet made of you. It was meant to look like you. And that's the fuss that they're in right now as you approach. And then they stop talking, they turn towards you, and they're like, oh, the big people. The one that was talking.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies.
They take their hymns and they bow to you because that's what they think big people want.
I wonder, is there anyone in this shire that can make armor for someone my size?
Armor? They look at each other and they're like, the one woman's like, you suppose old Warwick could make something like that, make a big person's armor? And the other one's like, oh, Warwick, he is dashing. I suppose he could do anything he sets his mind to. And then the other one is like, Alpaeus, you're incorrigible. Don't speak like that, especially in front of these strange folk.
Where might I find this Warwick?
The one called Athelia, she's like, oh, Warwick is, he's closer down to the farms if you just head north in town. It's about 3 buildings down to the right.
Thank you. Good morning.
They bow. Like, grandiosely. And then they go back to fussing about the puppet show.
Well, I'll head over there. I'll follow her directions.
Okay. You can tell from the stack of the forge that there's a smithy here. And you can see from the outside the daub is reinforced to compensate probably for the heat with stone. It is covered wall to wall on the outside to strings of horseshoes, rabbit's feet, and clovers. And there does seem to be someone inside making stuff.
World's luckiest hobbit.
I will duck down and enter in.
Yeah, you have to like duck down really far and kind of stay down. And someone is working a forge inside, and a really burly, stout, barrel-armed hobbit turns around with a big leather apron on, and is like, "Oh, hello, can I help you?"
Yes. You're Warwick, I assume?
I am Warwick. I'm the smith of here, Brandsonford.
My good hobbit. I have lost my armor to a ferryman.
Oh, He crosses his arms. Those damnable fairies.
Indeed. I said that and much worse, yeah, believe me, yesterday. But I am in need, therefore, of a mail shirt.
He sighs. But only what you see in that bin over there is what's I got. There are a stack of newly made weapons of a very heavy metal. A stack of iron daggers that are kind of like posted on the wall, obviously for sale. There is a well-made longsword that would be appropriate for a human. And then there's just piles of just junk. Tack, nails, horseshoes, some of which is just actually not really worth buying. And he sighs and he says, "Problem is, I'm getting real short on metal. I depended on those dwarves to come through and supply me what I needed to do my work. And, well, they haven't been by in weeks."
Oh, unfortunate. I do like those daggers. But you've nothing, not even a pauldron.
You know, he sighs. He obviously is ashamed of the shoddy workmanship. He's like, "I'll sell you those daggers. If you want them. The longsword is really good. I made that a long time ago. For dwarves. But I can't see you buying the junk I got in that bin. I make good quality things. So I'll tell you what. I have a relic, and I'll part with it if you'll help me."
My heart sinks inside, but I put a brave smile on and I say, "My good man, that's why we're here."
He takes something. He goes into another room, brings in a chest, opens the chest, and you can see something from the sunlight coming in from the charm covered window, gleaming from the chest. And he raises it up, and it is a glimmering chain shirt of some sort that you've never seen the metal or the like before. It gleams and shines.
my heart rises once again. And I say a quick prayer, "Thank you, Jesus." and I don't even know what to say. My good hobbit, I've never seen the like.
I wouldn't have sold it, but the truth is I don't have any need of it, and well, the truth is I don't even have any children. Someone else will have to take up this profession, and I'll have to take on an apprentice soon, and there's no one to pass this heirloom on to, and I don't even have a livelihood if my shortage of metal work isn't fixed here. This is mithril chain. It was made by the dwarves. It's said that hardly anything can pierce it.
Well, all I can say is, how much?
Yeah. If you can make sure that I can get shipments of metal into this forge for this shire, not only will I give it to you, but I'll even put in some silver.
Well, that is our aim, and it is for that purpose that I require armor.
Well,
And so, of course, the answer is yes, my good man, yes.
That's a relief to hear. You could start by getting the metal from the dwarves nearby and find out why they don't visit anymore. If you do that, I'll consider it a down payment, and I'll give you this mithril shirt.
Wait, there are dwarves nearby?
Well, they used to come and set up camps just north along the river. They have a mine in the Black Mountains to the north.
Well, yes, but we hear that route is not passable anymore.
Yes, well, perhaps that's what's happened. I hope not. They were good people, in my opinion.
Well, then how much for the daggers?
For the daggers, let's see here. Mm. In the world can I? Well, I'll bring up the SRD. I don't know why I can't see it in the page. These daggers have a dull metallic appearance. They are they're odd. They're different than regular daggers that you've seen.
Okay.
From where you're from, I assume that steel could be, like if you were to produce or purchase a weapon, I assume it would be steel, right?
Oh, yeah. 15th century England. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So now, looking at this, it is clear to you that this is iron. However, it has a dull, opaque, briny appearance to it, as if something's threaded through the metal.
Tell me of these daggers.
And he said, in response to your question, how much, he says that's 9 gold apiece, these daggers.
9 gold. You're the first hobbit I've heard use the word gold in relation to commerce.
Oh, I'm no stranger to what you people offer. I know that, and the dwarves quite like gold as well. And the truth is that if I'm not trading with dwarves, then I'm not trading at all. All the
Right.
silver that these hobbits offer is no good to me if I don't have metal and what I can offer dwarves.
Yes, well. How many daggers are there?
3.
And so then in answer to, so tell me of these daggers. I've never seen the like.
He takes one of the daggers and he says, this is, I tried to make this the way my grandfather told me, and he looks around nervously, looks over his shoulder, and he says, got a ferry problem here in Brandonsford. That's what the source of the problem really is. They've been tormenting me for some time now. I can tell they're watching through the window at night. And he looks out the window nervously.
Yes, well, I wouldn't put it past them.
I think they intend to take me out when they can. Then there will be no smith in this town, and without weapons like these. That's a cold iron dagger.
Oh my.
It's the fairy people, they hate it.
Well, that could be very useful. I'm going to go and let my fellows know everything that you've said, and I'm quite sure that we'll find a use for these, but I'll see you soon.
All right. And he turns back to the forge and keeps working.
Okay, so I'm going to hustle on back and give a report. Cold iron daggers, he says.
Cold iron is good.
9 gold.
Berries.
9 gold apiece, he says.
A piece.
Pretty pricey for a dagger, but if we're fighting fairies, I mean, I wouldn't mind replacing my my old just steel dagger with some iron if it's gonna be perhaps more effective.
Well, so and then so yeah, I also reported about the armor as well, and so a mithril coat. Now I don't know if I could roll a lore die real quick.
Yeah.
I've never once rolled a 1 or 2 on my 6-sided lore roll. So nope, I had never heard of mithril before today.
Oh, I also want to note, I hope you guys are checking the results channel, because you got a huge amount of XP because as the basic set says, there's almost no incentive for combat. Basically, if you overcome an opponent, you get the XP. So you overcame a river troll, you overcame a large alligator, and all kinds of stuff. So I put all of that in the results. So it's like 500 XP that you guys got.
Yeah. I'm pretty close to level 3, which is crazy to me. But...
Yeah. That's the benefit for only having 3 adventurers. It's a possibility you could die more because you don't have very much protection, but on the other hand, you get all the XP. So,
yeah, we do even like a quarter of as good as XP wise. So we did last time, all the way up to level 3 probably. So
I'm pretty sure I added it. I think so. Looks like I did. I'm going to calculate everything to be sure. It's okay if I missed it. I still don't level up, but still.
Well, let's see. So do we want to? We want some iron daggers. I mean, there were 3 of them. I don't know if we want 3 iron daggers. That's a lot of gold. That's like 9 gold. So what, 10 silver. So that'd be 90 silver each.
Now we have a lot of gold though. We just can't spend it here, except for with this guy.
It's actually kind of nice that we don't have to use the silver right now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I will write that down. Where are my notes? Buried. Hi. All right. 9 times. Good. All right, it is written down. You have acquired daggers.
Oh, you guys want to go back to purchase them?
It's too dangerous to go alone. Take these.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. 27 gold pieces. Is that right?
3 times 9 is 27.
Yeah. So minus 27 gold pieces, you get 3 sort of strange, opaque, heavy iron daggers. And then he's got a long sword. He's got a bunch of junk. If you needed anything like, what do you call it? Iron stakes. Anything like that, you know.
This long sword, is it different from the sword that I have?
It's just a regular long sword. So it should be the same as what you have.
I'm walking around with a 10-foot pole as a walking staff and a dagger and a hatchet at my hip, so I don't know that I need anything else. But...
Yeah, likewise, actually.
All right.
I prefer not to be in direct combat.
Except for some, maybe we could maybe stock up on some rations, I guess.
Right. Oh, and arrows. I need more arrows.
I could use a bow, actually.
I'll see if there's a bowyer in town, but I doubt it, to be honest with you. I'll look.
That's okay.
Go back to the hunting lodge, and they're all dead. Do they have any leftovers that we can use?
Oh, goodness.
I mean, hobbits have to hunt.
I'm not so sure they made it back with those.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey,
George.
Also,
really use
I
a bow
forgot to
anymore.
mention that on the sign is Town Drunk as a location. Truffler, well digger, weaver, whitesmith, shepherds, rope makers, rat catchers, meat cutters. Yeah, it's pretty boring here. They don't have things like bowyers. Yeah, they don't have a bowyer here. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm okay. I got 15 left, so that's all right. But I could use some rations. Yeah, if I can get 3 rations. It'd be pretty all right.
I would also like 3.
I think I may have... Oh, Dave's back. No, Dave's not back. Let me fix... Let me make sure he has... I think I accidentally... Poor Dave. There we go.
There we go.
All right, sorry, Dave.
Success?
Oh,
Hey!
I think so.
Yay, Dave.
Yeah!
Okay.
Yep, good video. You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Great.
PC doesn't want to use its own mic. I don't know why.
Dave, these are my friends Lane, Steve,
Yeah.
and Chris.
So Wayne's
this
who's
is-
got Wild Goose on?
Oh, that's me.
It's
Yeah,
Lane. Okay.
Yeah.
I see names now. Chris, FR Chris, and Steve. Where's I know you, Ross? I got it.
Yeah, and
William Defoe. Got it.
and unceremoniously, as you're negotiating over getting these daggers and you purchase them, you see Warwick's face light up, and he says Tharnlin, and he looks past you all, and in the doorway is a dwarf.
Dwarf.
And Dave, or Tharnlin, you see, and you call your dwarf whatever you want, I don't care. You see,
Sure.
You see a bunch of humans, a bunch of tall human people. Humans are not entirely uncommon, but they're mostly south of your lands. You mostly deal with dwarves and hobbits.
Mm. Yep. The occasional runt. Got it.
And oh,
So
by the way,
I
you're
just
in a
am not-
hobbit shire. So I've other details. So you're looking for your family members. They've gone missing, and then you stop by the Shire of Brandonsford to try to find information.
Okay.
And, yeah. And you know this
Say
guy.
you all
He's a blacksmith. So
You know me or no? I know.
the NPC,
Lane.
his name is Warwick, and he's the blacksmith in town.
Warwick.
So, yeah, he trades with dwarves.
I know him.
Yeah.
Warwick, have you? It's me here. I'm seen here. Have you seen my family? My clan.
Tharnlin, I haven't seen any dwarves come through here except yourself for weeks now. And that's bad news, because they probably would have stopped in here. Yeah.
Well, that's not good luck.
Tharnlin, these here are big people, as we call them anyway. This is, well, I didn't get your names.
I'm Edward, good sir.
And I don't have a picture of Edward. What does Edward look like?
Oh. A short, thick, brown hair, brown beard, somewhat boisterous demeanor, a lute hanging off of his back, and a sword at his side. Gregarious looking, big smile.
And then there's another person that's kind of, well, I don't know. Who's the?
Yeah. It's Ratbite Ben. You can call me Ben, you call me Ratbite, whichever works. Yeah, he's a human. He's got a big nasty scar on his face, which is clearly where the name comes from. And looks like an old calloused over rat bite on his face, and his eyes are a little off, but he's bearded and kind of patchy hair up top, but wearing a sort of leather jacket, and yeah, he's happy to please.
I'm trying not to look. Stare directly. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No. Why are you staring at me?
Yeah, I'm used to it. Yeah.
What are you looking at? I am Bashaw. Bashaw is he's not very tall. He's fairly gaunt. Leathery tan skin. He's got clean shaven. His face is the only thing that's showing. He's kind of got one of those peasant hats, the leather peasant hats on. He's got all these weird, intricate tattoos on his face. His clothes are really shabby. He's got a nice looking bow on his back. Otherwise, he's just kind of leaning on a stick and seems to just kind of be watching the world around him.
What's he wearing for armor or whatever right there?
None right
what he
now.
is right away?
None right now.
I'm wearing his armor.
There was an incident.
Who else?
And that's it. You see these three humans standing here. The Hobbit, Warwick, he says, if it were me and I were trying to find these dwarves, they used to make camp about halfway along the stream here between here and the Black Spine Mountains where they mined. It's just west of the river, about halfway north of here.
Oh. Maybe we'll find my friend along the way.
You mean your alligator?
Yeah.
We'll see you later, alligator.
All right, what do we do now?
What time of day is it?
It's still
Well,
morning.
Okay.
Would you care to come with us? We're about to embark in that direction.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've heard about this dragon rumors. I've heard that's kind of at least one of the things blocking trade with the dwarves, and we're hoping
A dragon?
so.
Really?
That's what we hear. Yeah. So we'd rather not go fight it yet, but we hear there's a sword that might help and some wine or something we're gonna look for that might help with that.
You
But
need wine and
first-
weapons.
But first, we need to rescue
Yeah.
the assistant scribe over there at the from Mathom-house, from the barrow.
Right.
Which the barrow mounds might help with the sword. Is that right? If we're lucky.
Well, let's just. I think we're all hoping it works in the same direction.
If we're lucky, we can multitask and save Dirk and find a magic sword that might help fight dragons.
And maybe we can
But,
run
yeah.
across a dwarven camp along the way.
Well, we found a dwarf already, so hey, things are looking up.
Things are looking up today. Found a suit of armor and found a dwarf. No offense, my friend.
Oh, he looks dwarvish. Like, I'll venture out and say that. I don't know, Dave, if you want to describe your character, but of note, he does have chainmail and a shield and a axe. That's something.
Wait a second. Got me? Oh shoot.
I
can hear you.
Yeah. Something.
Okay,
happened, so.
sorry, I'm muted, but you guys got me again? You guys got me?
We can hear you.
Number one, I have a beard. Let's start with that one there. Right. So I do have a large battle axe. The stereotypical dwarf right there. He's got red beard there too. Okay. But I, it's chainmail. I do have a shield right there. I mean, kind of like the run of the mill. Like you wouldn't. Hey, is my video not showing up?
No,
We can
That's
see.
all good.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So, anyways, I got the usual adventure type stuff with me right here and everything. And the colors are very earth tone right there. Nothing loud and garish. So I look like the typical dwarf over there. Like if you said if there was a dwarf over there, it's like this is exactly what you would say. It's like, oh yeah, he looks like inner dwarf I've seen right there before.
All right.
Doesn't distinguish himself.
Yeah. I mean, you're only the second dwarf I've ever seen, and the
Oh,
first
yeah?
one didn't
Okay.
look anything like that. She was like a
know what it looked
noble,
like.
noble lady in a city. So So I look right now. I see it's an angry Scot. It's a short, angry Scotsman to me. That's what I see when I look at you.
Okay.
I fear the Scots.
Rightly so.
It's like, you know what dwarves look like. I mean, he looks exactly like it. Yeah, that guy.
Yep. But I notice your big axe, and I say, "Hey, I think we could use a man like you, a dwarf like you."
So some rumors about this dragon right there. My whole 6 hit points. Yeah, I'd go on the adventure with you. Why not?
Oh,
You should
actually,
be starting at level 2, so you should
I
be
screwed
better
that
than.
up. Yeah, sorry, you're supposed to be at level 2.
Is that right? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna double this right now to 12. Okay, I was wondering about that one, Ross.
I think
but it's okay.
I'm sorry. Don't dwarves have D8
No,
hit
I'm good,
points?
Yeah,
We're good.
so it was a 6.
We did
Yeah,
max
axe.
HP at level 2 is what we did. So,
Okay, so that'd be then 16 then.
Yeah.
And then I have 16 plus, and I'm gonna add 2 more, 18.
Yeah, because you're con. Yeah.
Because I have
Wow,
double +1.
Yes.
All right,
that's a
Right.
beefy
now
boy.
that we established that one.
Big boy.
It's a tank.
All right, so
Now we're good.
Where do we go? North gate,
Just-
south gate.
North gate along the river.
North gate.
We're on the way to the Barrows.
Bashaw's gonna have his bow out just the whole time now. He's a little nervous.
All right.
Oh, does each of us have an iron dagger? Who's got the iron daggers?
Well, I don't.
I assume I took one.
Okay, I'm gonna take one as well because I can throw a thing.
Yeah, so I got 2 daggers now. So one for throwing, one for stabbing.
It is a crisp, dry, windy fall day. The wind cutting through the tops of the trees. The river. It's still been some week or two since the last fresh rains, but the bed isn't dry yet. You can hear it off in the distance. It's some fraction of a mile away, and you see forests around you to your right front. Where do you go?
Yes, north along the river.
North along the river? All right. Let's see.
Well, we were shown roughly where the Barrows are. Supposed to be. I think it's on the. Was it on the other side of the river, or was it on the eastern side?
Let's take
I was thinking it was on the eastern side, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I thought I remembered that.
trees are in the western wood.
Some 30 minutes pass as the sound of rushing water grows louder. The trees start to become more sparse as you move away from the forest. And you don't see anything from where you're at except you approach the river.
We don't see
Russ, would our characters remember the things we don't in terms of being told where the Barrows are?
Oh, no. Whatever you know is what your character knows.
I'm
Sorry.
pretty sure what it was we go north and we'll just see them to the east of us.
Okay. And we'll stay on this side of the river for now.
Yeah, I know the when we go for the sap-wine that's to the west, but I
Okay.
don't think Nop gave us directions besides north.
Let's take a look
Or Nob,
at
sorry. Miss Nop. That's a good
wilderness.
character.
3%.
The computer crashed. I'm on my phone catching up.
Oh, sorry. Hate that.
All I've got written down is Brandon's sword ? Exclamation mark.
About another 40 minutes or so pass as you walk along the river. you come to the marshy area where the ground becomes a bit more peat and soft. This is where you saw the river troll rise up from the river last time, but you don't see anything this time, and it just seems like a nice fall day as you walk along the river. You keep going along the river?
I'm curious. Are there any tracks nearby? Can I see the alligator tracks, the crocodile tracks?
You probably couldn't, but Bashaw might be able to. Bashaw has
Let's
an ability
see
to try
here.
to do that.
He set up a percentile thing here.
Because free alligator.
Yeah, if you could catch it. Although, last
I
you
don't
knew
need to
it was.
catch it.
Last you knew it was. Oh, you mean to eat it?
No, I don't need to catch it again. I mean,
Oh,
It
yeah,
should-
that's right. Yeah, if you.
it needs to be left alone for 3 days straight before the thing wears off.
The last you know, it was making a valiant last stand against several fairy wolves.
Yeah. Maybe it did awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see it. I thought I got really excited because I thought I rolled a 1, but that was actually the thing before. No.
You
I'm
don't.
afraid I see nothing, friend.
Yeah, you don't see any fairy tracks. You do know that it went into the woods, which is basically off to your right.
Yeah, well, I wistfully look in the direction and I saw it last, and we can move on.
All right. Let's see.
Obviously, there's a ranger in the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Bashaw is
Of note, we've
the
got
ranger.
a thief, a bard, and a ranger.
Okay.
Ultimate party comp.
Thief, a bard, a ranger, and a dwarf walk into a bar. Nobody knows what happens after that. Nobody remembers.
So we continue on this side of the river.
So you continue for about an hour and a half now, and it's currently it's about as far as you can tell, it looks like it's becoming afternoon currently. The sun is starting to get high in the sky to your left front if you're facing north the river, and you see some distance off. The trees here become kind of sparse, and then there's this hill. And then up at the top of the hill, off in the distance, some 3/4 of a mile away, you see a beautiful mansion. And you hear yelling. And it sounds like the voice of a how to put this, a person, not like a animal.
Is it in distress or like celebratory or
It does sound in distress.
loud argument? Sorry, it does sound what?
In distress, yes. And then
Can we make out any words or anything, or is it just like angry yelling, or is it like a language that we can understand, or is it just like
it's like like yelling, but it's too far away from where you are to make out what it's saying. But it's there's some person in distress. The other thing of note to your left front, if you're facing towards the sun, over here, you see a bunch of detritus, a bunch of stuff laid out on a hillside. But from where you are, it's a little bit too far away to see what it is. Whether it's just a collection of rocks and things, but it's something that breaks up the hillside.
Is that like a male or female?
The voice, from where you are, you can't tell. It's just like imagine hearing some yelling from a hilltop about 3/4 of a mile away. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, but from where you are, you can't tell if it's male or female or specifically, but you can tell it sounds like the voice of a person as far as you can tell. Yeah.
Could it be Dirk? Should we investigate, make sure Dirk didn't survive this long and is...
It doesn't look like a barrow to me.
No, that's true.
It's a tough call because there's the moral obligation, but there's also the potential time crunch of this other thing. Ooh.
If someone needs help, we should try to help.
Yeah, we should go.
So it was like there's a mansion up there, so maybe they
Some
have
good
money if they
come
need
out
help.
of that,
Right.
Well, exactly. Or a chain shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No,
Yeah.
that's right. I forgot. I've already got one in the bag. Ugh. I can't really count that. All right. So then, forward carefully.
Yeah, I'll try and be as silent as I can as we get closer. If we get close enough to, I guess try and listen and make out any more details as we get in closer, see if that's possible. But
As you
we're on
start
top of
getting
anything.
closer to the hillside, I'll actually show you what you see.
Bashaw's gonna sneak, and I think that's 1 in 3 chance of success. You gotta roll that one.
Yeah, my move silently is only a 15% chance of success. That's, yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so you're trying to be quiet as you approach. And
Oops. Need to roll that, sorry.
there is a it's not nighttime like it shows in this, but there's as you get closer you can see that in some time in the past this was quite the mansion, and it has stone paths that have been hewn out and laid in, although now the stones are broken and vegetation and wiry thorns and vines have grown up over the outside of the mansion as well as the pathway. But as you get closer, you can in fact hear a voice, which you're certain is a hobbit. Which you hear. It's a you can actually see a few dozen feet away, the little face of a hobbit poking out, being like, "Hurry! Get inside now! Hurry before it's too late!" And then you hear a boom, boom, and you actually feel the ground shake.
I'm gonna listen to the Hobbit. They've never led us astray.
No, hold on. I'm going to grab you by the shirt. Hold on.
Where's that sound coming from? Say behind us
Yeah,
or something?
yeah, yeah.
Where's that boom coming from?
Is there something coming?
So you can tell that the ground is shaking, and whatever percussive force is causing it, the rhythmic force is coming from behind the mansion and coming toward you and the mansion. So it's obscured by the mansion. It's something on the other side, and it's coming your way.
Oh. We're in a land of fairy magic, and nobody told us about a house. Where's the barrow? Nothing?
Oof.
Oh, you yell out to the hobbit.
Well, I was saying that to my companions here, who
Oh, okay. It's a house on a hill. That's
Not
right.
a barrow. Oh,
I mean, I know what a barrow looks like. They're in England.
Yeah.
We are looking.
That's a movie title, House in the Hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Looking at this, there's definitely a ghost in there.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid of fairy magic.
Yeah, I mean, we are looking for a hobbit, and they haven't told us about anybody else. So I think it's a pretty decent chance that's him.
Or maybe there's some fairy magic that knows what we're looking for and shows us what we want to see.
There could
So the
totally be
voice
some
was-
fairy magic.
the
Yeah.
hobbit
Could
was in
you
a
even
window?
trust
Is
at
that
this
right?
point?
You said if a hobbit face popped in front of a window, and then I say, "Who are you?"
Come on out. We can
He-
make a break for it. We got your back. Come on, let's go.
He says, he yells out, he says, I have to go back in. I can't stay. If you value your lives, then I think this place might be your best bet. My name is Dirk, and I'm trying to protect something, but best of luck. And then he disappears and he goes inside the house.
Can I make a grab for him?
I mean,
We
he's
didn't
like
mention Dirk by
dozens
name,
of feet
right?
away up, like
Yeah, we'd
you
have
were
to get
approaching the mansion.
Is-
Dirk,
we got-
Dirk,
Let me see what
We were
happens
looking
here
for
with
him.
this. Then
Disapprove illusion.
All right, now I mean, is it like? Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like this thumping. Like, is it scary?
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
no,
is
I'm
it
gonna.
like-
So Bashar, roll for surprise.
So that'll be. Nope, not surprised.
Okay.
What?
Let me see if I have this really quick. I probably don't have it in here, but I'll just check really quick.
You know, whatever's booming like that can probably get into that house.
As you say
I'm always
that,
behind.
you actually see this shadow cast. The ground's shaking, and this shadow's cast from the other side of the house as this huge figure crests. As tall as the mansion itself, on the other side, there's this humanoid, as tall as the mansion, and half as wide. And it's coming out around the side of the mansion and bellowing something or humming or making some noise to itself. And it starts to circle around and come towards you. What do you do?
I think we should hit the dirt.
I'm hiding, going into the
I'm hiding. Yeah, I'm
towards the
hiding.
house. If that's the best cover,
Yeah, is
then
this
I'll go
like?
towards it.
Yeah. I think
All
we
right,
should
I'll
make a
throw
break.
caution to the wind. Yes.
Even if I'm just ducking against the side of the house, I'm trying to take cover so I'm out of his line of sight.
Yeah, to frame your options here, looking around at this hillside, there's really no cover. And that's kind of one problem. So your options are hope
Stay outside and be killed, and go inside and not be killed. That's what it is.
or try to run and see if you can outrun this thing, I guess. Or you could try to fight it, I guess, but okay,
Yeah.
so if you're going
Could be a
inside,
friend.
that is something interesting, and I'm going to stop the recording.